Well, it says we're live. So, I'm hoping you guys can see me okay. I've been having a little bit of problem with my software here. It kind of jumps a little bit. I know you're seeing it, and I have tried everything aside from just, starting over with a different computer to get this thing to work right, and it's just going to continue to do that. Thankfully, it's not so bad that it's unwatchable. I know it can be a little bit of a pain to see that, but that's the way it is. Anyway, welcome everybody to my very first public live stream. I've been really thinking about doing this for a long time and have been slowly purchasing equipment to do this. This is currently it's supposed to be a really high quality webcam. I know the picture is pretty good. This audio that you're hearing right now actually is not coming from the webcam. It's coming from a studio microphone, and I know it sounds pretty good. So again, sorry for the glitchiness. There's nothing I can do about that. Anyway, just want to thank whoever's here. I think there's 11 people watching. So to the 11 people that are watching right at this moment, hey, thanks for being here and helping me out with this. By all means, throw some comments up. I do see Tony, you're here, Nate. Anybody that's out there and wants to participate in, just click on the chat over there and throw something up in chat if you got questions or whatever. Anyway, I did try doing some of these live streams with my Patreon guys. Some of you I know are part of my Patreon team, and I'm very grateful for you guys. If you would like to sign up with Patreon, the link is right down below. It's right down in the description below, and you can find links down there. You can also find links down there to my new t-shirts. So I finally got some t-shirts. I got some designs, and this one right here is right from the Amazon link. This is the red, white, and blue shirt. It's got the pointing the wrong way. It's got the KMS over here, and then it has the Motor Rod Shop logo on the back in red, white, and blue. And the way they the way they fit, I know everybody probably wants to know that this is a large shirt. I normally take a large, and it fits just like a large shirt for me. I usually wear my shirts tucked in, but I wanted you guys to be able to see, the length on it, so that way if you do tuck your shirt in, you bend over, it's not going to come, untucked out of your pants. These super soft, I gotta say. I don't know what Amazon, where they have, their suppliers must be very, very good. So it's like ring spun cotton. They're super shirts. And the way that it works on Amazon is, I have to submit designs to them. They have to approve the designs to make sure that the designs meet, basically it's copyright standards. So like if I were to have put on this shirt somewhere like the BMW logo, that would not have flown very well with Amazon, because then I would be trying to make money off of BMW, and that's not going to fly. So that's why really it doesn't say anything about BMW other than being just a motor rod shop. And I do make a little bit of money from the purchase of the shirts. I think the shirts that are on my site, in fact, I can probably, in just a moment, I'll bring up the site and probably be able to show you what I'm talking about. But the ones that just have a logo only on the front, those I make about $5 from. And this shirt, I think I make maybe $2.50. It's not a whole hell of a lot of money, but hey, the more people that buy them, the more that they will offer me. So like, I think if I even get into their first tier, which I believe is 10, I've actually purchased like 3 or 4 shirts myself. And actually, I'll grab the other shirts that I bought. Hold on. So I bought one of the gray ones. It's the same thing, KMS. And I also bought this blue one here. I'm calling this Toolbox Blue because you can see right over there in the corner. There's my new toolbox. I will be doing a little video. Maybe I'll move the camera over there and I'll show off the new toolbox here. So check that out. There's the Toolbox Blue. Looks a little bit bright on the monitor, so it's not that bright. It's a royal blue color. And when you get them, I would really suggest you throw them straight into the wash. They have a tendency to smell a little bit like vinegar. The ink that they use, you know, the printing company, wherever it comes out of, it's kind of smelly. For those of you guys that are out there in you know, out of country, you know, whether you're in Canada or whatever, I don't know what Amazon does. I think I may have to sign up with Amazon International in order to get my products you know, overseas. So I'll check that out. I do have some stickers available, and I will be sending those out to people probably at Patreon. Certainly my Patreon subscribers, at least at the $3 level and above. I will send everybody out a sticker eventually. It's just a white sticker with a, you know, so if you have a dark background, I didn't want to make a whole lot of them because I don't know where they're going to go, and they cost quite a bit of money to make stickers, just like the shop posters. You know, they're of course still available, and they cost quite a bit too to make. But hey, it's all part of it, right? It's all part of it, and it's pretty cool. So, looking at the chat right now, yeah, James Roski says I need better profit margins. Yeah, I would agree with you. I think I do. And if I'm looking way up, that's because I have two monitors here. My camera is sitting practically in front of the monitor that I'm running off of, and then I've got a chat window open above it. So if it looks like I'm going sky high here, it's like that. And by the way, I'm having a little cocktail. It's a little vodka tonic. Just to, well, it's Sunday. I can do whatever I want. I'm not working. As you see, there's no LT on the lift right now. It's a piece of furniture. And let's just talk about some of the things that have been going on in the shop since the last time I did an update video. So I've had quite a few bikes in and out of here. This has been like the year of the clutch for me. I have done, I don't know, gosh, I think I've done like now four clutches, and two of them were smoked so bad that you could barely move the bike. In fact, that last one that I don't know if it was the one that I made the clutch video on, but it was so bad that you could actually let the clutch all the way off, and the bike didn't move at all. It just sat there. You had to rev it up to about 4,000 just to get it to move even just a little bit. So that was a pretty tough one. But once I got the new clutch in there, and all the parts were new, not just the plate, but the pressure plate and the backing plate and everything. This thing's getting even worse with glitchy. I hope it doesn't go so bad that I got to quit this. Anyway, that's what's been going on with that. Bill Livers up there, William. I know as you say, where's the shark bike? Well, the shark bike is still here. It has not gone anywhere. I haven't done anything on it. I haven't had time. It's just that one takes time to work on. There's still a lot to do. I have an error with that bike with if you watch the last shark bike update, when I'm pulling it onto the lift, if you listen, you can hear the fans are running. And I'm like, what is going on? I mean, I would start the bike up, and as soon as that thing would come off of cold, the fans would kick on. So I put it on my GS911 tool and was able to diagnose that it has a bad thermal sensor, the one that goes in the block. That one's kind of a pain in the butt to get to. I probably will make a video on how to change that out, including, you know, what I did to diagnose that issue, including maybe even some live data that comes off of the GS911 tool. And that was really, it was really cool to watch it, because you're watching the live data. It's showing that it's warming up, you know, and it's in Celsius. So it was like as soon as it hit 80C, it just flipped to like 150C, and the fans came on, and then, you know, so whatever that resistor is, whatever those things are made of, they're BMW Magic, who knows, they just click on, and that's what I have. That's what I've got to deal with on that bike. Aside from the clutch, you know, that's another thing about the clutch on that bike. The clutch on the bike works really good, and you guys have seen my video, and I show, like, you know, some of that crusty crap that's between there. God, it's a lot of work to be taking that thing apart, and it's working. It's not like a big active leak where it's just really wet down there. It's actually really dry. So it's like I keep warring with myself. Should I change that out? Should I not change that out? I probably will change it out. I mean, I do have a new clutch plate here. I've got all the parts for it. Everything is sitting here waiting, ready to go. I just haven't done it. So that's kind of what's going on. So another thing I wanted to say, especially to you guys out there that have been helping me out with Patreon, is that, you know, if you ever wonder what I do with the money that goes through Patreon, one of the cool things I have recently purchased, and I use this pretty much at the rally, during the rally video. You can see some of the footage that comes off of this. But I bought a gimbal, and the way this thing works is, you know, I'll just kind of turn this thing on and turn the unit on, the gimbal on itself. That's if it's it might be dead. Oh, I think my gimbal's dead. Oh man. Well, I can't show that thing off anyway. So what this thing does, though, is it allows to handheld video, and, you know, be able to turn it in whatever way I want. I can run with the thing, and it will just stay stable. So that was one of the things that I purchased with the some of the Patreon money. My camera, the main camera that I use, that one is used. You know, I bought that with Patreon money, and not this one. This is a very old camera, but still works. It works good for this because it's real lightweight. James, you're asking me, what do I charge for a clutch job? Well, the clutch job can really vary. I mean, if you're just looking at only the clutch, like just changing out the clutch plate, my labor charge is about 11 on that, and there are some other ancillary costs in there. So, you know, just figure it's about 1,200 with labor plus the parts. So, you know, BMW parts, you're looking at anywhere between 100 and 150 for the rear main seal and the bolts and all of their, you know, overpriced parts. Oh, this thing is looking terrible now. It's really getting glitchy. And and then the clutch disc itself, you know, is somewhere, it sits about 150. So figure it's 1,600 to, can be up to $2,000, can be over $2,000 because of, you know, if you have to buy all the clutch parts. So that's kind of where that is. I mentioned I went to Des Moines. That was kind of that was a great time. I met some of you guys out there, met some fans, and that was fun. I got to have a talk with Jack Reapy, and he is going to be, I'm going to be releasing that video on Tuesday morning. I have spoken with Jack quite a bit, and he wanted to make it, you know, kind of time it with Facebook, and, you know, just, I don't know what he's doing, but he asked me just to hold off until a certain date. That date's going to be Tuesday morning, so watch for that video. It was fun. Fun little good guy. And what else we got here? Hey, I see people are here from Canada. Cool. Nate, having a beer? Just have a little drink. About to show off, you know, my new toolbox over here, but I wanted to show you guys one of the cool tools that I recently picked up. Oh, I wish this thing wasn't so glitchy and jumpy. I will fix this in future videos. This is absolutely nuts. So I picked up a lineman plier by Vampire Tools. I think it's called a Vampliers, and this thing is just completely kick-ass. Look here. Let me kind of help it focus in. You can see those teeth on there. Oh God, that's just terrible. The glitch. Anyway, these things are really, really good for getting out, stripped out bolts and screws, and you name it, man. They grab on like crazy. You can find these on my Amazon link. There's a link there. They're kind of expensive. They're about $40 for this 8-inch pliers. Worth it though. Worth it every bit of it the first time you use it. They're made in Japan. Totally well made. I think they're even nicer than a lot of the Snap-on pliers. Very cool tool. So let me show you the box. So I wound up getting this this box. I sold my saw. Okay, so that was another thing. I didn't use any of the Patreon money for this. I had a Powermatic table saw, and I sold it so I could get this box, and got it for about half price. I bought it from Napa out of their catalog, and what a nice box this thing is. So I'm going to try to do this. Hopefully, I don't have enough cord to get over there, so I'll just kind of point it over there. Oh, I don't know if this is going to work or not. Well, there you go. You could at least see it. Yes, I got the great big decal at the bottom down there. Let me try to get this thing. Sorry about the shaking around. I got to loosen this thing up a little bit to try to. There we go. Try to get that over there. Anyway, it's got some really nice big drawers on here. They go all the way back. Nice flush fit back here. And I've been able to kind of finally, at long last, organize my tools. Oh my gosh, you guys have no idea how happy that makes me to have everything just kind of laid out and real nice in here. Got drawers for specific things. I know some of you guys are like, oh man, my tools aren't that nice. Your tools are great. As long as they work, that's all that matters. Tony, you're playing it loud in Panera Bread. That's awesome. I'll just say a big shout out to all my fans at Panera. Talking to you, folks. And there's the ever-present Coco. What are you doing, Coco? Good boy. Oh. Oh man, this is a mess. Sorry, guys. Okay. Looks like you're looking at the ceiling more than anything now, but that's okay. Another very, very cool tool that I recently purchased was I bought a new torque wrench from Snap-on, and this thing is, oh my gosh, it's the best. Let me show this thing to you. Check that thing out. That is their Tech Angle wrench, and it is this is the 3/8 drive model. What I love about this wrench is, one, it's insanely accurate. It's like, I mean, the little calibration chart that they gave me with this thing shows that it is, I don't know, it's like 0.05%, you know, within, it's just some astronomically accurate number. So that's really cool. The other thing I really like is it's got, let me turn this thing to a really low setting. So when you're operating this thing, you can see it'll light up, but it starts to go, and you know, of course it reads in Newton meters, but you can see the lights on there as I get closer to 10. So it lights up, it shows you on here, you know, that I hit what it was set at, and it also vibrates in my hand. This is a great tool. The other thing that's really nice is that I have been able to put in a lot of presets in here so that it, you know, 10 is a preset, 9's a preset, 21, 30, 50, even the torque, you know, for the rear wheel. This thing covers just about everything. The only thing it doesn't really cover is when you're doing a clutch job, you know, you have those real big pivot points that have just a tremendous amount of torque. So you'll probably be seeing this in future videos, but just thought I'd show that off. It just seriously nice. So Fred Burmer is asking when the next service video is. The next service video, you know, I've got a few of them that are in my program. They're on my computer. I gotta adjust this thing. All I can see is like the top of my head. Okay, that's better. Anyway, Fred, yeah, the next service video, it might be a center stand video. I have rebuilt a couple of those center stands, those electronic hydraulic center stands, and those things are a real pain, man. You guys that have those out there, just pray to God that they don't ever fail, because they are just nothing but a hassle. If they start leaking, you know, that's not the end of the world, because you can refill them. That's relatively easy, but rebuilding them is a real pain. And what the painful part of rebuilding them is just finding the parts, you know, getting the correct seals, especially that little front seal. It's got like a real step design. It's just a pain in the ass. And I did make a video on how to rebuild it. I shot a video anyway. I just didn't like the way it looked. I didn't like the editing that I had. It felt like it really wasn't good enough to put out there, because I'm not able to put out a lot of information about it, because I wound up just sourcing parts from all over, and I couldn't remember where the hell I got the parts. I've got on my toolbox back there in a box is a hydraulic center stand from a bike that was in here, and it was missing all kinds of parts. You know, I got it. It was that bike that came in here for the clutch. The guy brought it in here. I couldn't get it up on the center stand, because, you know, I sit on the bike, I go to hit the button, it's just flashing. So I get off the bike and I look underneath. There's no center stand at all. Somehow the dealer had managed to take the center stand off the bike, and they were going to fix it. You know, well, yeah, they fixed it all right. They just put it in a box and didn't do anything to it. It didn't have the motor. It didn't have any of the wiring. So this guy's trying now to hunt all that stuff down. So that's probably going to be one of the next service videos, or it's going to be that temperature sensor that I mentioned on Shark Bike. We'll see how that goes. What else we got here? No other questions right now. That's okay. So, a future trip, I will be heading out with my wife in September. Going to be going out to Sedona, Arizona. And if any of you guys are out there, hey, maybe we could hook up. I will have my bike out there. I don't think I'm going to ride my bike out there. Carolyn isn't. She's not real keen on long trips on the back of the bike, and she's also going to be going to a conference and stuff. So it's probably going to behoove me a lot to have another vehicle available. So I'll probably take my truck, drag the bike out there, and plus, for those of you guys that live on this side of the plains, if you guys are in California, you don't know what I'm talking about. The plains are miserable. There's nothing good about the plains. And traveling across those plains last year with my son, I pretty much vowed that I would never do that again because it was horrible. It was like 105 degrees, windy. It was just punishing. And it just ate my tires up. Just snarfed up those Shinko tires that I had. I do have other videos that are still kind of in the storehouse of ideas. I've got someday, I keep saying someday, but someday I'm going to put out the video of when my son and I were out on the Bonneville Salt Flats. That was a trip, man. That was definitely a bucket list item and something I would highly recommend you experience for yourself someday. Get out there on the salt flats and give it hell. If anybody tells you you can't get out there, don't believe them. You can get out there. It's, in fact, when you're driving down those roads, the only road that leads to the salt flats, there's a big sign that says, enjoy the salt flats and basically don't get lost. So, and it would be very easy to get lost out there because it's just so huge. You lose sight of land, basically. You're in a giant lake. It's weird. Anyway, so that video is going to come out. I may put out some riding videos. I've got a lot of videos when I was out in Colorado and some of the storms that we went through and the hail and everything, and just fun stuff. I have I know I don't have that computer sitting here with me right now. It's in the house, my editing computer, but that one has a lot of videos on it that I still haven't put out. Oh, one of the other things that I will be coming out with too is this. I only have the paper here. I forgot to go grab it off the bike, and I'm not going to disappear for 5 minutes while I go grab it, but I don't know if you guys have seen the Trail Tech Voyager. So I'll just show the paper on it right now. So I have this GPS. It's on my bike right now with the Garmin GPS, and it's a pretty dang cool thing, I gotta say. It's not meant for road. It says Trail Tech for a reason, and that's because it's pretty much just a trail bike. I mean, it's a trail GPS. It's made for off-road, but it's got some really cool features on it. It's the company Trail Tech is owned by Polaris, so I am hoping to put it on my snowmobile one of these days and take it out in the trails and see what it does out there. It's got a cool buddy system. Anyway, that's a video that's coming up in the future. Let's see here. Les, you ask, how's the Shark Bike coming? Well, Les, I talked about that just a little bit ago, but you must not have been here. That was, it's not coming yet. It's not. I wish it was on this lift. Every day I think, oh, maybe I should put the Shark Bike on the lift, but I haven't put it on there yet. George says, hi, Kirk. Did you hear about the swing sidecar on the K16s? Your wife might like the ride, hopefully. Yeah, No, I haven't heard about that. I wonder if I could get her in a sidecar. You know, I would be so tempted though to lift the sidecar off, you know, going around the corners. She would just freak. She would completely melt down. It would be a disaster. But I might try it though. If I ever get a chance to get her in a sidecar, I probably would at least give it a go. Maybe a trailer. No, I haven't had enough cocktails yet to really do that. Nate says, if you had a choice between an '02 and an '05, all things being equal, which would you choose? I'm in the boat right now. Nate, '02 and '05. I'll be honest, they're really, really, they're so similar. It's uncanny. The only difference is the '05 has a little bit different bleed system when it comes to the ABS, but functionality wise, they're the same. It's got pretty much the same rake angle on it. You know, it's got the same handling. Depends on the mileage. I think it would come all the way down to mileage, color, and condition, and maybe service records. You know, if one or the other showed less miles, stellar service records, and was maybe that cool midnight blue color that I like so much, I'd probably go with that. But that's a really tough call. I don't know about that one. The hydraulic center stand, yeah. Well, if it had a manual center stand, that'd be for me. I want nothing to do with that hydraulic center stand. When they work, it's fun to use them. Everybody knows it is. The problem gets to be when people sit on them and they like to ride the thing up, and they're not made for that. They really are made just for the weight of the bike and not to be ridden up. But I don't know. It certainly can be. They can be good. I suppose if I had one, I would use it too. Of course, I would. Perhaps the '05 may have a tendency not to fall over as often. Sure. No, they do. They fall over just as easy as the 99s do. They all fall over. Mine has fallen over. Yours probably has fallen over. Everybody that's on this chat right now, it's probably all fallen over. They're just made to take a nap on that side. The biggest thing is, if it ever does fall over, be in one serious panic to get that thing shut off before it smokes the bearings. You know, especially if it lands on the left side. When they land on the left side, those bearings have no oil whatsoever over there. And those little rod bearings are the first thing to get eaten up. I've changed them out. It's not very fun. It's not really that hard to do. You know, of course it's expensive because you got not only the parts, but then you have to buy the bolts because they got stretch bolts and they got to, you know, be at a certain torque angle, and, you know, it's just a pain in the butt. But, however, I should say, not two butts. Yeah, just, they all tip over. Can you retrofit a manual center stand? Yeah, I think you can. I have actually been very tempted. That last bike that came in here, the one that's got the center stand sitting over on the bench right there, that one I was really tempted to buy a manual center stand and just put it underneath there so I could get the thing up on the lift and be able to, you know, without help. As it was, I had to have my dad come over and help me out, and he, you know, was able to just kind of stabilize the bike, and then I was able to use a ratchet strap against the rear or the front wheel and the center stand, kind of pull it together a little bit, and then get a jack up underneath there and jack it up so I could, you know, start working on the clutch. But yeah, that was no good at all. Anyway, anybody else got any other questions for me? I got so help me, I won't even do another one of these live streams until I get this flickering nonsense fixed. This is such a mess. At least you can still see it on it a little bit. Another cool tool. Sorry, caught a piece of ice there. I had to chew it up. Another cool tool I have recently purchased is this Snap-on drill driver. I'm going to be making a review video specifically on this drill driver. This thing is really, really good. Now, I use the Milwaukee one. I still own the Milwaukee one, but this one I think is superior in some ways. It's inferior in others. I can give you just a little bit of a review of it right now. The reason I bought it is, one, it's insanely powerful. The thing will break my wrist. It's so powerful. And being that I work on a lot of wood furniture, there's a lot of, flathead screws in there. A lot of times they have a tendency to strip out, or, if you don't put enough pressure and torque on them, they'll break, whatever. Anyway, I needed something more powerful. I was constantly in a situation where I was overpowering that Milwaukee one. This one also has this cool feature here. It's got the forward and the reverse. That's probably the best part of this thing. You can just run the screws in, run them out real fast. It also has 2 speeds on it. So it's got a 0 to 400 speed, and it also has a 0 to 1400 speed. So makes real short work out of the body screws when it comes to that those BMW panels. Would I ever consider doing a series on an R1200 RT? Yeah, I would, actually. I would love to get some other bikes in here. I have worked on so many LTs, but that seems to be what always comes in the shop. Everybody knows I've kind of specialized in that, and yeah, I would love to get some. Another bike I would love to get in here is the K1600. I'd like to do a few more videos on that. Those are up and coming. Those are certainly going to be around for a while. So I really would like to, do some other bikes for sure. One thing I don't want to get into is the vintage stuff. Oh, there goes my my compressor. Let me go shut that off. Hang on. So, yeah, I would love to be able to do some of those other models. I don't like the vintage stuff. I'm not into it. Never have been into it. The last one that I did, which the guys there on Patreon, they saw some of the mess that was part of that bike. Was the guy had left it outside for like 20 years and he must have had a half a gallon of water in the gas, and it just rotted everything to pieces in there. It was such a mess. Man, I do not like working on that old stuff like that. That old, smelly, nasty gas. I know it's all part of the game here, but I'm probably not going to make too many videos when that stuff comes in the shop. Only because I want to get it out of here as fast as possible. And when I do a video, it basically at least doubles the amount of time that it would take to normally do a job. I mean, if I'm doing an oil change, most of you guys out there have done your own oil changes, and you know how long it takes you. Maybe it takes you half an hour to do, maybe an hour, whatever. When you're videoing something, figure it's going to take fully twice that. So it's either going to take an hour to 2 hours to do that same job, and then comes the editing. So editing, anybody that's out there that's ever edited anything knows the amount of pain and suffering that goes into editing these videos. These live videos are kind of cool because I can't do any editing other than this. I can't even fix this stupid flickering that's going on. Editing, like that video series that I just did for the clutches, on how to do a clutch. Tremendous amount of work in that. That was, gosh, I don't even know. I mean, it took 5 days of filming, and probably at least 100 to 120 hours of editing to get that thing out and get it done. And it's a labor of love. Obviously I don't get paid a whole lot. Just the guys that have helped me out on Patreon, and buy my posters, and maybe now you can buy a T-shirt. If you do appreciate what I do, please do consider supporting me. I really do use it, and it encourages me too. So anyway, enough of that. Any other questions from you guys? Are your vids are the only reason I'm still writing your LT? Hey, all right, Chaz, Charles. I don't know how to say your name. It might be just Chaz. I'll just say it's Chaz, and I'm glad to know that they're an encouragement to you. You like the flickering? Yes, very max headroom. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, maybe I should do this a lot too. Just oh gosh. Well, hey, wow. This is a 41-minute video. Well, I probably should probably end it here. And I will be working on this nonsense. Next time I'll probably bring a few other questions, maybe some questions off of some of the YouTube channel that those seem to be a very popular series that I've been doing, and that's about it. So guys, thanks so much for watching, and yeah, finish with a song. No, I don't have any songs to finish with. I wouldn't be against it though. It's a weird thing. Another real quick aside, really weird about it. It's humbling to know that there's so many people out there that watch and enjoy my videos, but I don't see you guys. I mean, I see some of the chat that you guys are throwing up, and I sure appreciate it. I love the instant feedback of it, but there's nobody in my shop other than this dog, and he don't care. And that Coco, he does not care one bit. Anyway, guys, please go check out my my T-shirts. Actually, I said earlier, dang it, see, I can't even finish this. I was gonna show you some of the T-shirts that I've got and what they look like here. So just bear with this horrible looking part of the video. It's probably gonna be messy. It's gonna look very strange. You got like a kaleidoscope thing going on here, and there we go. So you guys probably have seen my motor rod shop over on Amazon. If you haven't, the link is right down in the description below. But here is the shirts, and I've got a sweatshirt and a hoodie available as well, although I don't see the hoodie on here. I must have forgot to put the hoodie on here. But if you click on one of these, you'll be able to see all the different colors that you got. Here's black, slate, cranberry. You can just kind of page through the colors. It does have women's shirts, as well as some of the shirts that I have youth sizes as well. So kid sizes, they do seem to fit true to size, and that's about that. So these are the ones that just have the logo right up front. They're the lowest priced option. That's the shirt, or that's not the shirt I'm wearing, but it's similar. It's kind of the alternate version of the shirt that I'm wearing. And yeah, that's the shirt that I'm currently wearing right now. So a little bit more expensive option, because I know it's a little bit more expensive to actually use. So that's it. So guys, it's going to wrap it up, I think, for today. Pumped it out for about 45 minutes here. So thanks everybody that has hung out with me for this long. It's cool sort of talking to you guys. And I see a guy from Denmark just showed up. Klaus, you'll have to rewind it and watch it from the beginning. So thanks again, guys. I'll see you on the next one.